Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Ethereum is flashing a new signal that usually only happens right before a volatile move in the price, and this is also happening just as the price is about to break this pattern, which I'll talk about later in the video, so definitely stick around. First of all, just giving you a really quick update here on the daily Bitcoin chart. And right now, as I'm recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is still looking relatively neutral in the shorter term, which is also something that I mentioned in my last video about the daily Bitcoin price oscillators starting to flip more neutral. Because, for example, this daily Bitcoin RSI is basically trading sideways, while the MACD, the histogram within the MACD indicator, is moving back to the upside towards a bullish cross, but we're not there just yet. So at least for now, we're relatively neutral at the moment, and we have not yet confirmed the continuation with another leg to the upside in this bullish trend. But with that being said, we have not yet invalidated that larger bullish trend that has been the case since November last year. So essentially, what we're seeing right now in the market is a phase very similar to what we saw back here, but it's just that right now we're not necessarily at that point where we have confirmed the next leg to the upsides, but at the same time, we have also not confirmed the invalidation of this larger bullish trend, which is why I've been comparing this phase to back here. We're still seeing this shorter term bearish phase within that larger bullish trend. But just in the more imminent short term, obviously prices have started to flip much more neutral as expected, and this is also shown here on the 8-hour time frame. Obviously, we have been chopping around sideways over the last few days, but the price of Bitcoin has still found a lot of resistance at around 27.5k, which once again is still currently acting as resistance. And unless the price of Bitcoin can confirm a breakout back above that level, then this technical price target at around 24.1k is still currently in play, because that price target only gets invalidated if we actually see a confirmed breakout back above 27.5k. But anyway, zooming into the shorter term, this is on the 4-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart, and right now, as I'm recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is still chopping around sideways in this sideways price range in between this support and this resistance. First of all, this area of support is still sitting in between around 26.2k to 26.6k, and this resistance is sitting in between 27.3k to 27.7k. And as of right now, in the 4-hour Bitcoin price oscillators, these are showing almost no momentum in terms of the short-term trend, which is obviously what I've been talking about for the last few days here, meaning I'm expecting mostly choppy sideways price action in the short term rather than a bullish or bearish trend, because the RSI is basically chopping around sideways, and at the same time, we're seeing the MACD almost completely flatline here on the 4-hour time frame, showing no momentum to either direction as of right now. But with that being said, even though that's the case right now, and that's been the case obviously over the last few days, generally speaking, when we see a consolidation phase like this, it's basically meaning the price is coiling up ready for the next volatile movement. For example, back here, we saw a period of very low volatility where the price basically converged into a smaller and smaller price range, and then eventually we saw an explosion in volatility. And usually the tighter the price gets in a price range, the more significant that next volatile move will be. So right now we're still looking relatively neutral in the short term in terms of the trend and momentum, but eventually once the price continues consolidating here tighter and tighter, at some point we will end up seeing a volatile movement, and that volatile movement could be started with a break from this symmetrical triangle pattern, because first of all, the support line for this pattern is sitting at around 26.8k, and the line of resistance for this pattern is currently sitting at around 27.1k. And if we see a confirmed breakout above that level of resistance, then that would set up a technical price target at approximately 28.9k. But on the flip side, if we end up seeing a confirmed break below that level of support, then that would set up a technical price target at around 25.2k. So as I said earlier, it is possible that when the price of Bitcoin eventually breaks either below this support line or above this resistance line, it's possible that that could trigger that next volatile movement in the price of Bitcoin after this consolidation range. But at least for now, none of those technical price targets are currently in play for this pattern. We still need to actually see a confirmed break of one of these levels first. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and obviously the price of ETH is still running into this area of support, sitting in between around 1770 to 1820. And as of right now, like I also said in my last video, the daily Ethereum price oscillators are starting to flip more neutral rather than overly bearish, because first of all, over the last few weeks, I have been leaning more bearish than bullish in the short term, because for example, the RSI has been trending to the downside, forming lower highs and lower lows, while the MACD has also been trending to the downsides. But just over the last few days, clearly the histogram within the MACD indicator is starting to move back to the upside, showing reduced bearish momentum, flipping more neutral, while the RSI has basically plateaued and is now going sideways. But with that being said, we have not yet confirmed the next leg to the upside in this larger bullish trend. So as of right now, we are still technically within this pullback phase or this bearish phase within the larger bullish trend, kind of like what we saw back here. But anyway, now zooming into the shorter term, this is on the 4-hour ETH to US dollar chart, and this indicator right here is the Bollinger Bands indicator. And in case you're new to this channel, basically when this indicator enters into a squeeze phase, when the Bollinger Bands squeeze together, that usually means that a volatile move is coming very soon, as we can see here on the chart. Usually when we see a squeeze in the Bollinger Bands, a volatile movement is just around the corner. But it is important to understand that this Bollinger Bands squeeze does not actually predict the direction of the move, and instead it simply just tells us some sort of major volatile move is getting very close. And in order to predict the direction of that movement, we need to wait and see either a confirmed break below support or above resistance. Basically, that would be the trigger to potentially enter a trade. And as for support and resistance, we do have a bit of short-term support at around 1790 approximately, and below that level we also have this level of support at around 1760 approximately, and below that we also have some more support down here in between 1.7k to 1730. And as for resistance right now, we still have this price range in between around 1830 to 1850, and above that we have this level of resistance based on this previous high and this previous high sitting at around 1880 to 1890, and above that level we have this area of resistance sitting in between 1920 to 1950. And so basically, the moment the price of ETH starts to confirm a break either below some of these initial support levels or above some of these initial resistance levels, then those would act as some confirmation signals telling us the direction of that next movement. But at least for now, as of recording this video, considering we have not yet confirmed the beginning of that next movement, obviously the momentum is still looking very weak, because first of all, the RSI is basically chopping around sideways, while the MACD is almost completely flat on the 4-hour Ethereum charts, showing very low momentum to either direction. So right now I'm still leaning neutral rather than bullish or bearish in terms of the trend and momentum. And obviously over the last few days, the price of ETH has also been consolidating into this symmetrical triangle pattern, which right now the price of ETH is pretty much at the very end of this triangle pattern. In fact, we only really have around 1 to 2 4-hour candles to go until the price basically reaches the very end of this pattern. And I must say, this is actually quite a rare occurrence. We don't usually see the price trade all the way into the very end of a triangle pattern. We usually end up seeing a breakout before the end. But with that being said, it is still possible for the price of ETH to either break below this support level or above this resistance level here at the final moment. And first of all, this level of support is sitting at around around 1805, so just above 1.8k, and this resistance level is sitting at around 1815. So really, we only have around a $10 price range where the price of ETH is currently trading in. Obviously, a very small range pointing towards a volatile move coming soon, as the Bollinger Band is predicting, because as I said, this usually happens just before a volatile movement after some sort of consolidation range. And if you want to know how to easily profit from a volatile move like this or like this, no matter the direction of that volatile movement, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money with long positions and short positions, with uptrends and downtrends, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money in a choppy sideways price range like right now. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in my next video.